Okay, so today's lesson we're going to be talking about rates. So all a rate is a ratio, which is just a fraction, a ratio that compares two quantities with different kinds of units is called a rate. So right here the example that they give is beats per minutes. So we have 160 beats over 2 minutes. Some other rates would be like miles per hour is a pretty common one. Meters per second, if you're dealing with physics. Anything that you can think of per something else are normal kind of rates. It says here 160 beats over 2 minutes. Because beats and minutes are different kinds of units, that's why it's called a rate. Now, we're going to first look at creating what we call unit rates. So a unit rate occurs when the denominator has a value of 1. So if I had 160 beats over 2 minutes, to make this into a unit rate, we would just divide the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator, by what the denominator is currently. So I would divide the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2. So you see 160 divided by 2 is 80 beats. And then 2 minutes divided by 2 gives 1 minute. So we have 80 beats in 1 minute. That would be considered a unit rate. We're fixing to look at a table, and it's going to show some other common unit rates. Okay, so the first one here is number of miles in an hour, or miles per hour. That's one I mentioned earlier. It gives our average speed. Some other ones, number of miles you can get in a gallon. So when you're talking about what your fuel mileage is, how good a fuel mileage your car gets, it's how many miles can it go for every gallon of gas you put in it, miles per gallon. And then number of dollars per pound. So that could be if you're buying meat at the grocery store, right? How many pounds of meat are you getting? And then how much money did it cost? So number of dollars over number of pounds. One thing I did want to mention, this here called unit price, you see that a lot if you shop maybe at Walmart. If you'll look, say I'm going to buy Cheerios, and I want to know what the best deal is on the different size Cheerio boxes. Well, what you do is you can take the price that you're spending for the box and divide it by how many ounces is what a Cheerio box is normally in. That would be the dollars per ounce, and you get the unit price. If you will look on a lot of the price tags at Walmart, you will see they have already done this division for you, and you have the unit price listed there. So this is something very beneficial that you could use whenever you have to buy groceries. Okay, here's our first problem. Adrienne biked 24 miles in 4 hours. If she biked at a constant speed, how many miles did she ride in 1 hour? So we're looking here and it asks us for how many miles in 1 hour. So I know I'm dealing with miles per hour. So when I set this up, I know miles has to go in the numerator up top and hours in the denominator down on the bottom. Now I'm going to look at the numbers that they give me specifically. She biked 24 miles in 4 hours. So I plug those numbers in. 24 goes with the miles. 4 goes with the hours in the denominator. Now we want to know how many miles would she get to in 1 hour. So I need my denominator to be 1. In other words, I'm trying to find the unit rate. So I would divide the numerator by 4. Because 4 divided by 4 gives 1 in the denominator. So now I'm dealing with 1 hour. To keep this the same fraction, if I divide the numerator by 4, I have to also if I divide the denominator by 4, I have to also divide the numerator by 4. So 24 divided by 4 is 6. And that is miles. So she rode 6 miles in 1 hour. Okay, here's two of them I want you to try on your own. Find each unit rate, round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. That means 2 decimal places. So I want you to pause the video and try these two, and then unpause it to check your answer. Okay, the first one, we're dealing with $300 in 6 hours. So I set that up, $300 over 6 hours. Now, if I'm going to make this into a unit rate, I need the denominator to be 1. So I need to divide 6 by 6. Well, if I divide the bottom by 6, I have to also divide the top, the numerator, by 6. 300 divided by 6 gives $50 over 1 hour. So this is $50 an hour. So I don't know what that's talking about, but if they're getting paid that amount, it's not a bad job. The second one, 220 miles on 8 gallons. So if I'm finding that one as a unit rate, 220 miles over 8 gallons, I would divide the numerator and the denominator by 8 because I need that 8 to become a 1. So that's going to be 1 gallon in the denominator. And then in the numerator, 220 divided by 8. That's not going to be a very nice number. So you can use your calculator. It may take me a minute here. 220 divided by 8, that's 16. That's 2. 16. 22 minus 16 is 6. 60. 56. So that's 7. That'd be 40. So you should get 27.5 miles over 1 gallon. Sorry, I should have worked that out before. I didn't know I was going to get a decimal. That is correct. Okay, it tells me to find the unit price. If it costs $2 for 8 juice boxes, round to the nearest cent if necessary. So I've got these 8 total juice boxes, and they're costing $2 each. So the unit price is going to be the number of dollars per box. So in this case, I'm putting the dollars in the numerator, which it cost me $2, and in the denominator is the number of boxes. That was 8 juice boxes. So now to find the unit price, we need to make the denominator 1. So I would divide by 8. That means I also need to divide the numerator by 8. 2 divided by 8 is a quarter, sorry. So that would be 25 cents over 8 divided by 8 is 1 box. So if I paid $2 for 8 boxes, that would be a quarter for 1 juice box. Okay, here's the next one I want you to try on your own. It says find the unit price if a 4-pack of mixed fruit sells for $2.12. So pause the video now and try to work this one. Okay, so same idea, unit price. I'm putting the dollar that I paid in the numerator, which is $2.12, over the number that I got in the denominator. So it was 4-pack of mixed fruit sales. So that would be 4 mixed fruits. Now I want to know what it is when the denominator is 1. So I would divide by 4 in both the numerator and denominator. 4 divided by 4 would give me 1. So I've got 1 pack of mixed fruits. And then in the numerator, 212 divided by 4. 4 goes into 21 5 times. That'd be 1, 2, and then 3. So it's 53 cents for every 1 pack. Okay, here on this problem, I have 3 different bags of dog food that are given with their price and their size. Which bag of dog food has the lowest price per pound? So again, we're looking for unit prices. This is kind of what I was telling you about before. A lot of places you go to buy they will have the unit price already listed on the price tag, but some places may not. So what if I was in this situation and I wanted to know what was the best deal for a pound of dog food? So I would find the unit price. So it's always the amount that I'm paying in dollars, so $49, over the size. So I would have 49 over 40 pounds for the first dog food bag. The second one would be $23.44 over 20 pounds. And then the last one would be $9.88 over 8 pounds. Okay, so to find the unit prices, so first for the red one, the first bag, I would need to divide by 40. So 49 divided by 40 would give me 1.225. And because we're dealing with money, I want to round that to 2 decimal places. So 1.2, and then the 5 would tell the 2 to become a 3. So it would be $1.23 for every 1 pound. Okay, in the second bag, the blue bag, I would do $23.44 divided by the denominator, which is 20, and that would give me 1.172, which again, because it's money, I'm going to round to 2 decimal places, so that'd be $1.17 for every 1 pound. And then the last one, the third bag in green, we would need to divide by 8. So I've got $9.88 divided by 8. That would give 1.235, which would round up to $1.24 for every pound. And so which one has the lowest price per pound? So which size? So the answer would be the 20-pound bag has the cheapest price per pound. Okay, here's one. Read it and try to work it on your own. So pause the video now. See if you can get this one. Tito wants to buy some peanut butter to donate to the local food pantry. If Tito wants to save as much money as possible, which brand should he buy? So again, we're looking at the unit price. So we would do the price that I'm paying divided by the weight of the bag, or how much I'm getting. So it'd be $2.19 over 12 ounces for Nutty's brand of peanut butter. For Grandma's brand of peanut butter, it would be $2.79 divided by 18 ounces. For B's peanut butter, it would be $4.69 over 28 ounces. And then for Save-A-Lot brand, it would be $6.60 over 40 ounces. Okay, so we would simplify each one of these unit rates. So the red one, we would do $2.19 divided by 12. That would give me 18 cents. It's 0.1825, which again, rounded 2 decimal places because it's money. So that's 18 cents for 1 ounce of peanut butter for Nutty brand peanut butter. For Grandma's brand, which is in blue, I would do $2.79 divided by 18, which would give me 0.155. So when I round that up, that's going to be 0.16. So 16 cents for every ounce. So right now, Grandma's is a little bit cheaper than the Nutty brand. For the B's brand, that would be $4.69 divided by 28. When I do that, I get 0.1675, which when rounded to 2 decimal places is 0.17. So that's 17 cents for 1 ounce. So again, B's brand is still cheaper by a penny. Then the last one is the Save-A-Lot brand. So I would need to divide $6.60 by 40. When I do that, I get 0.165, which rounds up to 0.17. So it's, again, 17 cents an ounce. So the best price here would be the 16 cents an ounce price, which was the grandma's brand. So the brand that he should buy is grandma's brand. Okay, face painting. Lexi painted 3 faces in 12 minutes at the crafts fair. At this rate, how many faces can she paint in 40 minutes? So this time we're going to take the rate that is currently being used and we want to apply it to a different situation. So we're not necessarily looking for the unit rate. We're wanting to work this out up to 40 minutes. So it tells me that she can paint 3 faces in 12 minutes. So I can make that into a rate. Okay, 3 faces over 12 minutes. Now, next section, we're going to learn a little bit different way to work this problem. But for now, let's make this into a unit rate. So I want to make the denominator 1. So I would divide by 12 in the numerator and denominator. 3 divided by 12 is 0.25 or 1/4. So she can paint a quarter of a person's face in 1 minute. Okay, but that's not what it was asking. This is the unit rate, but now it wants to know how many could she paint in 40 minutes. So we're going to now take our unit rate and we want to know in 40 minutes what is it going to be. So I want the denominator to now be 40, so I can multiply it by 40. And I could also multiply the numerator by 40. So in the denominator, 1 times 40 is 40. So now I'm dealing with 40 minutes. And then in the numerator, 40 times a quarter would be 10. So she can paint 10 faces in 40 minutes. Okay, you try this one. Kimball bought 4 notebooks for $6.32. At this same unit price, how much would he pay for 5 notebooks? So pause the video and try to work this one out. Okay, so I'm setting up a unit rate. So again, the price that he paid in total was $6.32 for 4 notebooks. Now to find the unit price or the price for 1 notebook, we're going to divide this. So I would divide by 4 in the numerator and denominator. 4 divided by 4 is 1 notebook, which is what we're looking for the unit price. And then in the numerator, 632 divided by 4. That gives us a value of $1.58. So that is the price per 1 notebook. Now again, that's not the final answer. It wants to know how much would he pay for 5 notebooks. So what he needs to do now, or what you need to do, is multiply by 5 in both the numerator and the denominator. Okay, 1 notebook times 5. Now I have 5 notebooks. And then in the numerator, $1.58 times 5 should give you 7.9. Well, since we're dealing with money, we want 2 decimal places. So we would add a 0 to the end of that. So it now shows to be $7.90. So the price that Kimball would pay for 5 notebooks is $7.90.